Okay, answering questions again today. This question is from Faduma. Faduma asks, what do you do when you feel distracted? Well, if you already feel distracted, the first thing you really need to do is create a space for yourself that doesn't have those distractions. For example, if you are distracted by your phone, put your phone far away from you. If you are distracted by other people, try to find a quiet place. If you are distracted by sounds and noises around you, try and maybe put on headphones and listen to music that does not have words, that does not have anything that you can sing along with, that is only instruments playing. The reason is that if you're already in a space where you feel distracted, then words, images, other people talking, all those sorts of things are going to grab onto that distraction that wants to be in your brain, in your mind, and is going to amplify it. Our focus is like a flashlight, right? And it can be really broad and it can be really narrow. And what happens is that we sometimes feel like we're very distracted, and what's actually happening is our focus is taking in all of the stuff around us and it's creating distraction. And the reason for that is that, nothing about your body, nothing about the way that you interact with the world, or the way that you perceive the world, or the way that you feel is by accident. None of that is bad. It's all there because at a basic level, thousands of years ago, these behaviors meant survival. So thousands of years ago, the idea of this distraction or this wide focus where every little thing might catch your attention was to keep you alive. And it meant that, elephants, lions, tigers, hippopotamus, crocodiles, whatever else is out in there that could possibly get one of your ancestors, this distraction feeling is really just this wide focus that allows you to see all the things around you. Now, in our modern world, that is much more challenging because we don't have as many things that impact us on a survival level, but we need to figure out how to control that distraction so that we can get our work done, so we can get our tasks done, our jobs, our chores, whatever it is that you want to get done. That really broad focus is not helpful when you actually need to get stuff done. So there's a couple of different things you can do to actually harness that focus and make it much tighter so you can focus on what you want to do. And in this case, like that flashlight, we'll go ahead and focus down to a narrow beam. But the other thing to think about is that the way that your brain works and all of the power behind your brain every single day, it's like a muscle, right? Those are my muscles. See, it's like a muscle. And the more that you exercise controlling that focus, the more that you train your mind that you can control the focus, it's like stretching that muscle. It's like working that muscle. The more you do it, the bigger that muscle gets. So if you feel very distracted, understand that you have a very small muscle right now and that you can work to make it bigger. And it's just like if you were working out, your biceps or your shoulders or any of those sorts of muscles, you have to do it over and over and over again, starting small and then getting more intense and more intense, right? You can't just jump in and like bench press 400 pounds. You can't bench press 200 pounds. You can't just jump in and do something if you've never done that work before. So in order to start the mind workout and the focus workout, what you have to do is create a time and a space for yourself that is helpful to focus. And then create like a small ritual out of it, a behavior that you can train yourself into that helps your brain know and your body know that now is the time to focus down. And the more that you do this, the more that you create this space and this time and hold to it, it is just like working out. Your focus will increase, your ability to get things done will increase, and you can just start jumping in and doing things. You will find distraction goes away because you start to really train your mind, train your body, train your behavior into doing it that way. So what can you do? First, choose a time. Every day or every certain period of days, choose a time, set it aside, and then turn off your phone, turn off everything that could be a distraction. Try and get space alone. Again, listen to the music, only focus on the tasks that you need to get done. Do not do other things. A lot of times, I know people sometimes open up email while they sit down to write something, like they write an article, write a story, or start doing art of some kind. I always tell people, do art, color, do something that's artistic, because it's really good for the brain, it's really good for the body, it's really good for our emotions. But the challenge is, we'll sit down to do those things and then say, well, I need to check my email. Oh, I have to check Facebook. I have to check WhatsApp. I have to check like all these different places. And all of those are distraction. And every time you open up something else, it takes your mind 3 minutes to come back to what you're doing. So if you go check an email once you finish reading your email, it takes 3 minutes to get back into what you're doing. If you go back again to any other thing, it takes 3 minutes. So what you need to do is understand that when you sit down in this space that you create to start your focus training, to start your focus exercises and working on the projects that you want to work on, you're not going to feel focused immediately. Just like when you go and work out, you don't feel good when you start working out, when you start warming up, you start stretching. It takes getting into that workout a little bit before you actually feel good. So understand you're going to feel distracted, and you have to kind of power through that a little bit until your focus muscle is a little bit stronger. So sit down, start working. And what I want you to do is tell yourself, I'm going to do this for 10 minutes. And if you can't do 10, maybe you start with 5. I'm going to do this for five minutes. And what happens for most of us is that the brain enacts the reward responses, the dopamine responses. It releases dopamine into your system when you do it for 5 minutes, and then it becomes easier to continue to focus. And what I recommend is going for about 20 minutes, and that's called a Pomodoro. And people say that you can be very, very efficient if you work on each project for 20 minutes, and you can set a timer for that. And you say, I'm going to work on this project for 20 minutes, give myself a 5-minute break to stand up, stretch my body, focus my eyes in other places because that's good for eye health, and then sit down and work for another 20 minutes. And if you train yourself into those 20-minute sessions, you become super effective. Your focus muscles in the brain become super strong, and you're able to sit down and just get through tasks very, very quickly. And that's what I do personally. These short bursts of really concentrated focus, getting tasks done, moving projects forward, little steps at a time, in about 20 minutes at a time. It's very easy to focus for that period of time. And I, in turn, am strengthening my focus muscles, going from very broad distractedness to concentrated, very focused fine beam. So Faduma, I hope that helps. Thank you so much.